displaying the glory of God's creation by exploring America one park at a time. Welcome to Parking Full Time with Big Dave, the park's professor. Ninth hole. The par and distance are at the top of the screen. This hole is a sweeping dogleg left, and it plays gradually uphill. It has a fairly generous fairway, but there are dense woods off to the left and also to a lesser degree off to the right of the fairway. And so you really need to hit this fairway. If you miss this fairway, you're going to be looking at a high score or possibly even a lost disc. I do want to welcome you back to Parking Full Time. I am Big Dave, the park's professor. Most holes on this course have multiple possible basket positions, and that is the range of distances I'm giving you at the top of the screen. In this clip, on this hole, the basket is in the B position, or the middle position, and therefore the actual distance on this clip is in between the two numbers at the top of the screen. There's the ninth basket, and there's the view back to the tee from behind the basket. The next two holes are two of the shortest holes on this course. This hole plays the opposite direction as the previous hole, and therefore it plays slightly downhill. It's also a moderate dogleg left. The fairway is tight but not super tight, and therefore a good throw with a slight right to left disc flight should set up a birdie opportunity on this hole. We are at Rogers Lakewood Park. We are in Valparaiso, Indiana, and therefore we are in Northwest Indiana. This course is generally regarded as one of the best courses in Northwest Indiana, and this park is owned and maintained by the city of Valparaiso. The 11th hole actually has a single basket position, but two different tees to choose from. This video clip starts at the long tee or the blue tee. From the blue tee, this hole plays out this little chute and then across this wide open field. The basket is directly behind a small tree that you see just ahead, and therefore you have to choose your angle of attack carefully. I personally chose to come in from the left, and I think with a good throw, that's what makes the most sense here. There's the basket and the view back to the tee. Now we get back into a series of long holes, and I do like the way that this course alternates between short holes and long holes. There's a nice variety of hole length here. The 12th hole plays moderately uphill, and there are some trees around here, although again, this hole is not super tight. I captured this video on Friday, September the 20th, and it was a warm and humid afternoon with temperatures in the low 80s when I came here. As we get up close to the basket, the trees get a little bit denser. There is a slightly wider line of play off to the left, but you still have to come through some trees if you go that way, so you've got to pick your line of attack carefully. The basket in this video clip is in the C position, and the C position is right on the edge of this little swale, and so putting is also a challenge here. Overall, this is probably my favorite hole on this course. Now we get to a hole that definitely is not one of my favorite holes. The 13th hole plays steeply downhill at the beginning, although it's going to level out when we get down to the bottom of the hill and start getting close to the basket. This hole is a gradual dogleg right. There is some dense woods on the inside of the dogleg, but other than the dense woods, really there are no obstacles between the tee and the basket. And therefore this hole is really a brute power over anything else type of hole. The basket on this video clip is in the B position, which is the back position, and therefore we will see the full 588 feet of this hole. Let me say a word about course route here. There are 27 holes on this course. There are 24 numbered holes, and then there are also 3 bonus or ace run holes that are denoted by letters of the alphabet X, Y, and Z. In the first video, we looked at the first 8 numbered holes and also the bonus holes, X, Y, and Z. In this video, we're going to look at the middle 10. So we're going to look at numbered holes 9 through 18. And I cut the video there because hole number 18 gets us back to the parking lot. And therefore, if you wanted to stop at that point, it would be easy to do so. Hole number 14 plays out this narrow gap between the trees, but after that this hole really opens up. This is another long hole, it's another dogleg right, and it's another hole with dense woods on the inside of the dogleg. So you really don't want to miss right here, but there's plenty of room out to the left. To finish my thought about how I've broken this course up into videos, so last week we looked at the front 8 and also the 3 bonus holes. In this video we're looking at the middle 10, holes numbers 9 through 18. And then next week we'll finish things off by looking at the back 6 holes, hole numbers 19 through 24. That will cover all 27 holes at this park, and I do recommend playing all 27 holes. I like some holes better than others, but there aren't any really weak holes here. There's the 14th basket, and there's the view back to the tee from behind the basket. The 15th hole is another very open hole. The tee shot plays across this little wetland area. It's only about 100 feet to get across the pond, and therefore, even though this is technically a forced water carry, most players won't have any trouble getting it over the pond. We're going to jump over the pond, and then we're going to head steeply uphill to get to the basket. There is dense woods off to the right, so you don't want to throw it there. But there are no obstacles directly between the tee and the basket, and the fairway is super wide. So really the only strategy is to just throw it as far up the hill as you can off the tee. The basket is in the A position, which is the short position, and so we are only going to see the first 330 feet of this hole. And there's the view back down the hill to the tee. Holes numbers 15 through 19 play up and down the same hill in kind of spaghetti-type fashion, and therefore hole number 16 plays back downhill. This hole is a sweeping dogleg left. There is dense woods on the inside of the dogleg, so you don't want to get too aggressive and try to cut off too much of the dogleg. This design feature with the dense woods on the inside of a dogleg on a long hole is a feature that's maybe used a couple too many times on this course. The fairway is dotted with only a few small trees, and therefore if you can throw it far enough and avoid the woods to the left, you should end up with a birdie opportunity on this hole. In this video clip, the basket is in the middle position, which is the B position, and therefore the actual distance on this clip is in between the two distances given at the top of the screen. Hole number 17 plays back up the hill. It's shorter than some of the other holes on this stretch, but it's still a dogleg left with dense woods on the inside of the dogleg. The basket on this hole is in the middle B position, by the way. I do want to thank you for watching. Parking full time would not be anything without the people who watch. I realize that every day, and I hardly thank you every day. Also, as a reminder, I do not make any monetary compensation for anything I do for this project, and therefore the only thing that I get for putting together these videos and writing these disc golf reviews are your likes, your subscribes, your views, and your comments, and I do appreciate all of those things. The 18th hole is the last hole on the middle 10, and of course it plays back downhill. The fairway basically coincides with the park entrance road, and that is the disc golf parking lot that you see up ahead here. I did have to wait for a car to pass before I could throw here, so there is definitely a safety hazard on this hole. Overall, it's a pretty boring hole, and honestly probably my least favorite hole on this course. The basket is in the B position, or the long position. Overall, this is a really nice course. It relies a little more on power than on strategy, and that's the only reason I don't give it 5 stars. But this is a really nice course. I did enjoy playing here, and you'll probably enjoy playing here as well. That's the end of the middle 10. I will see you on the back 6. Until then, have a great afternoon, take care, and Lord bless.